All right, hello there, everyone. How are you all doing? I'm back with another 2K rebuild. This time, a rebuild that's not the Sixers. I'm kind of thankful for it too, because it's been a lot of Sixers stuff lately. But as you can probably tell by the thumbnail and the title, we're jumping around to a different team this time around. I spun a wheel to kind of figure out what it is that I wanted to rebuild, because I didn't even really know. And for those of you that are watching, I put a poll up. So if you all want me to rebuild a certain team, you can let me know, and I can definitely try and do that for y'all. And I also wanted to say, those of you that are sticking around, dropping comments, likes, and even subscribing, I really appreciate it all. That Sixers video blew up a lot in light of the LeBron stuff, and I really do appreciate the support that people have been giving me. So to those of you that are watching, I really do appreciate it. And if you do enjoy what you're seeing, because, I'm trying to get better every single time I upload something, please leave a like, subscribe, comment. I'll take any suggestions I can get, and I'll try and apply them. So I appreciate you all for watching. I just wanted to kind of put that out there. But anyways, back to 2K. The team that I'm going to be rebuilding today is going to be the Sacramento Kings. Now, the Sacramento Kings are in a very weird spot as of late. Recently, they released DeMar DeRozan into free agency. Zach LaVine, I'm pretty sure, requested out because the team is no longer competitive. Even just 3 years ago, they had a core around De'Aaron Fox, Domantas Sabonis, Malik Monk, Keegan Murray, Kevin Huerter, and they ended up making the playoffs for the first time in almost 10 years, 20 years. They ended up losing to the Warriors in 7 in the first round of 23. But it looked like they had a very, very bright future ahead of them. But as time went on, their core slowly started to fall apart. De'Aaron ended up asking out, I believe, during the 24-25 season. And the rest of their players either hit a steep decline or just, straight up vacated the team for another team. So the team is no longer, where they were, and the addition of DeMar and Zach LaVine definitely didn't help. And so this team's in desperate need of a retool and or a full rebuild. I'm going to give this about 3 to 4 seasons, depending on what happens, to try and win a championship for Sacramento. I'm hoping all ends well, but this roster has a lot of work that needs to be done. And without further ado, let's just get right to the roster. So, looking at the roster here, it's spearheaded by a former All-Star and part of the original Sacramento core that made the playoffs, Domantas Sabonis. Looking at his stats here, you can kind of see that he's hit a very sharp decline over the years. It doesn't look like it statistically, but especially last year, he struggled a lot in the role that he was given. And it also doesn't help that if we go over here, his games definitely went down. He for sure did not play 82 games last season. I can actually try and find that real quick, but his games played went way, way down, and he just has not been the same player since 2023, and just hasn't had that same level of impact. He played a grand total of 19 games last season, which kind of, goes to show the level of production he's able to put up. He's just not the same guy anymore. Zach LaVine, you can say the exact same thing about Zach LaVine. He has not been the same player. Well, actually, in ways, he kind of has. Because he's never been an overly productive guy, even past like 21, 22, when the Bulls were doing really well, until they weren't. He was never an overly productive guy. But especially in Sacramento, his defense has struggled a lot, and he just hasn't been able to, bring up the value of winning. However, though, there are a few bright spots on this roster. Maxime Raymond being one of them. Or I guess it's Maxime Reynaud. I'm going to be honest. I don't really follow Sacramento that much, but I do know this guy was a stud standout in his first season. I know he did really, really well in terms of, statistics and being able to impact winning, which is great. Keegan Murray, he was supposed to be the next up-and-coming guy for Sacramento, but just hasn't taken that leap. It looks like he's kind of maxed out in terms of what his potential is going to look like, and in fact, he's even regressed a little bit, as you can see here. He just doesn't look like the same guy that he was supposed to be, coming in as the 4th overall pick. Malik Monk, decent 6-man, I believe. I believe he won 6-man of the year at one point in time. He's a good 3-point shooter. All in all, good role player, but, nothing spectacular. DeAndre Hunter came in, and I believe the Dennis Schroeder trade. He's okay, but definitely way overpaid. And just did not have the same production that he had with Atlanta and Cleveland the year prior. Precious Achiuwa is a good bench piece. Nick Clifford had a semi-promising rookie year. Hopefully he'll be able to step up. Same with Dylan Cardwell. Darius Acuff Jr., though, is going to be the main guy that we're going to be retooling around. Darius Acuff was, I believe, the 7th overall pick. Yep. In this year's draft. And I'm really high on Darius Acuff. I think he'll be a great player. So hopefully he manages to step up for Sacramento. Alex Caravan was taken as well. Manuel Sharp as well. So while we're still in the offseason here, I feel like it makes the most sense to try and get off of Domantas Sabonis and Zach LaVine in the most reasonable manner possible. So we're going to be trying to take the route of a full rebuild in the first season and try and see how everything goes, because we don't have a ton of picks and we really need to try and see what we can get. So I'm going to try and see if I can find a suitor that makes sense for Domantas Sabonis. Alright, so I believe I found a trade that might be a little interesting here. I found a trade that would send Domantas Sabonis to the Magic. The reason why I feel like this makes sense for the Magic is because he's a great all-around big. He'll definitely get a few triple-doubles in, and he can space the floor, which Orlando kind of needs a center that's like that. And I figured in order to make this work, I would take on Jalen Suggs, who's not the best player, but maybe we can find him some kind of role here in Sacramento. Jace Richardson, I decided I wanted to take some kind of flyer on. I figured he could be a good spot-up shooter off the bench and a good young piece. And Jonathan Isaac, just to make the money work. We'd probably end up flipping him somewhere else if I can. But Jonathan Isaac is not necessarily a player I'm interested in. It's just to make the money work. And they didn't really have any firsts, so 2 second-round picks I guess we'll do. I might try and see real quick if I can reroute Jonathan Isaac somewhere and get some kind of piece back in return. So let me see what I can do. Alright, so I'm really hoping this works, but I figure this might make a little sense in terms of LA. Maybe we'd reroute one of these seconds. They want to get off Jared Vanderbilt. I mean, neither are particularly good, so maybe they won't agree. And maybe this isn't a good trade, but I want to see if I can pull this off. Because if we can get someone like a Deuce Thiero, that would be great. So let's see what happens. Okay. So we're going to cut the Lakers from the deal then. And we're going to try and see if I can give them some kind of guard. Or maybe reroute someone somewhere for some kind of guard. Alright, it doesn't look like that's going to work out. I tried to do one with the Hornets, but that didn't work either. Let's just see if this goes through. They want our pick top 3 protected. Yeah, no. That's not going to happen. So, how can I get them to say yes? These are the real questions. Can I give them... Can't give them Caravan. Can I give them Malik Monk? And I'll just take on, like... Jet Howard. They don't want to take on the extra salary. Maybe this won't end up working. Because I don't want to give up a top pick, especially my own next season. So let's try and see if I can find a different suitor. Alright, so after looking around for a while, I think this is the only trade that makes any sort of sense for us. We were never really going to get anything crazy for Demonis, but I think I can work with Jalen Suggs and Jonathan Isaac in a second in return. So we're just going to put this trade through. And yeah, I mean, looking around, our next best, player was Yves Missi, and taking on the Jordan Poole contract. So I don't think I can get down with that. This is the best we have. So we're going to accept that. Looking at the roster now, we have Jalen Suggs, Darius Cuff, Zach LaVine, Malik Monk, DeAndre Herder, DeAndre Hunter, Keegan Murray. We're going to see if I can get off of one more guy, maybe Malik Monk. I don't think Zach LaVine makes any sense. I'd rather just let him expire. But maybe we can get something from Malik Monk. So let's see what I can get for him. Alright, so this is kind of the best we're going to be able to do for Malik Monk. Paul Reed in the second round pick isn't the worst thing ever. I guess I can make it work, although I'm not really happy about it. None of these players have high trade values, so I just got to get what I can get. If Malik Monk has to go for Paul Reed in the second round pick, then I mean it is what it is. So we're just going to accept it and move on with our lives. Alright, so looking in free agency here, I figure picking up a guy like Keon Johnson makes a little bit of sense. Young player, high reward, low risk type move. And that's kind of all I'm really seeing, to be honest with you. There's not really any good quality free agents out there that I'd be willing to put money on. And so, actually, I lied. We're going to sign Myron Gardner, because I don't know why he's out here, but I'm going to take advantage of it. But that's going to be our team going into the year. So looking at our player progression, Suggs goes up by 1, LaVine down by 3, and just kind of no movement overall in the roster. Suggs is our best player, which says everything it probably has to about this team. But I'm going to get us to the start of the year. Alright, so going into the start of the season, this is what our rotation is going to look like. It's going to be Suggs, LaVine, Hunter, Keegan Murray, Maxine Raymond, Nick Clifford off the bench, Precious Achua, Paul Reed, Dylan Cardwell. And I'm going to make sure Darius Cuff gets some minutes in there. So we're just going to increase this bench depth. Doug Christie is going to be our head coach. Cuff is going to get some minutes, and we're just going to kind of sim and see how this plays out. Alright, so at the trade deadline here, we are 24-26, which is way, way better than we should be. This is what it looks like in the Western Conference right now. I really don't know how we're this good. Looking at our individual stats, Jalen Suggs is averaging 23 points a game on elite efficiency, which is definitely interesting. Zach LaVine having a bit of a solid season, actually. Actually, he's been a positive on the court. Keegan Murray, much better season than last year. Shooting much, much better. Nick Clifford playing very well. DeAndre Hunter doing pretty good. Precious Achua is, doing pretty solid. Maxine playing well, but he's getting frustrated. I think he's not getting as much shots as he'd like, which, yeah, I mean, he's definitely not. So, Dylan Cardwell, Cuff is averaging 22 as the 10th man on the bench. Never mind. He's the 8th man on the bench. Yeah, all right. We need to start him right now. He's going to start over LaVine. And Paul Reed doing pretty well for himself. Myron Gardner also doing pretty well for himself. I think what we're going to do here is we're going to trade Zach LaVine. Try and see if we can get a draft pick. And just keep it pushing. And whatever happens, happens. So, definitely going to try and dump Zach LaVine if we can. I want to look at the trade finder first. So looking at it, the Clippers put in an offer for Zach LaVine, for Brandon Ingram, and a second-round pick, and it was just going to be for Zach LaVine straight up. I feel like that's low-key a bit of an overpay, so to kind of even this out, to make this make sense for them, I'd have to give up probably someone of good importance, and I'd be down to give him Dylan Cardwell, just to make it make sense for them. But if this is what they want to offer me, I mean, I'll take it for sure. But I feel like this is a lot more fair. First round pick later. We can get rid of the second round pick too, just to make this more fair. But if they want to get off Brandon Ingram and his $40 million, sure, be my guest. We're going to put that through. They actually don't like that. Interesting. What if I just did that? All right, cool. We have Brandon Ingram on the team now, who's going to come in and be our small forward. I feel like that's kind of a steal. I want to see if I can lock him up. He has a player option. How is he playing? He was playing pretty well. We're going to up his shot tendency here. And, I mean, that's not exactly how I wanted that to go. But if they're going to offer him to me, I'm going to take him. We're going to see if we can get off John Isaac. You know what? I'll take the expiring Buddy Hield. And let's see if I can get DeAndre Hunter off as well. Portland is willing to give us a first-round pick in Drew Holiday for DeAndre Hunter. I don't know if this makes a lot of sense for them, so I'm going to give him another second. But you know what? I'll take it. They want to take Buddy Hield off us in another second for Vic Krejci. You know what? Sure. So looking at our new team, we're pretty solid. All things considered. I think Drew is going to ride the bench because we're not looking to compete right now. Maxine needs to get starting minutes. I don't know why he isn't. It's a little strange. Give a few more minutes to Cuff. And let me just adjust some shot tendencies real quick. There we go. Cuff actually can stay up. And yeah, all right. So that's going to be our trade deadline. We're going to kind of sim to the end of the season, and we're going to see how this is going to go. I know Brandon Ingram being our main pickup at the deadline is kind of gross. But, I mean, if you can get Brandon Ingram for Zach LaVine, I feel like that's an improvement. So, let's see how this goes. So, our lone all-star is Brandon Ingram. I kind of actually expected Jalen Suggs to be in there. But I guess not. I feel like he should have been, though. But, I mean, hey, what are you going to do, right? All right, so our end-of-season awards here. We have Victor Wembanyama as our MVP. Rookie of the Year is Cam Boozer. Jalen Green is our Sixth Man of the Year. Victor Depoy, Reece Shea, Most Improved, averaging 29 points. What did they do to Reece Shea's tendencies, man? Holy smokes. And that's efficient hoops, too. Wow, okay, sure. Clutch Player of the Year is Wemby. Jason Kidd, Coach of the Year. Executive of the Year, Jordan Hobson. Kyrie, Cup MVP. All NBA first, second, and third team. Shout out Josh Giddey, I guess. All defensive first and second team. All rookie first. As you can see, Darius Cuff is in here. Average 20 points, 5 assists. Good efficiency, not bad. And all rookie second. And looking at where we finished as the 8th seed. We finished 3 games, or 4 games, I guess, over 500, which is not what I had in mind for the season, but 2K likes to do that sometimes. We're going to kind of sim this Portland game, and we're going to see what's going to happen. And it's a close game, so we're going to hop in. All right, so jumping in here. Brandon Ingram guarding Dame right now, and Dame's putting up the sauce. I'm actually really excited to be rebuilding other teams other than, my home team. It's always really interesting kind of seeing, hopefully some of y'all Sacramento fans are, watching the video, and I always like, hearing from other fan bases on what they think about their team, some of the players, as I think Dame just sunk a three from the top of the key there. We're down by 4, which is a bit of a surprise, but also kind of not. But yeah, anyways, I always like hearing about, what, Sacramento fans think of their team and what people think about other teams in general. But especially for teams out west, because I'm not necessarily as familiar with some of the teams out west than I am with some of the teams out east. Although I know quite a bit about them. But Sacramento has a lot of great fans. I'll never forget the Light the Beam era. That was such a fun time in the NBA. Ingram with the midi, he sinks it. Also, I'm pretty sure Johnson is out on the court right now, which is not what I was expecting to see. But I'm intrigued to see that he's in closing minutes here. Tumani Kamara to Avdia. Going on Ingram. He gets the finger roll to go in. We're definitely fighting from down in this game. But Ingram midi is off. It's not a great shot. They're doing this without Ja, by the way, which I think is impressive. That's off. Jalen Suggs with the rebound. Suggs up the court. Passed it. Johnson, Ingram, top of the key. Putting on an ISO. To Johnson in the corner, and it's off. This isn't looking good, folks. Tumani Kamara, 3 is off. Dylan Cardwell. Dylan Cardwell with the rebound. Down to Keegan. Keegan with the slam. 2-point game still, though. Pass out to Tumani. Shaden Sharp, close out. He's off. Sacramento with the chance to tie or take the lead. They're going to give it to Ingram. Ingram, psych out midi floater is good. Sacramento ties the game here with 30 seconds left, and Portland calls a timeout. All right. Portland, 30 seconds left in this game. Even if they run out all the clock here and hit a shot, they're not going to win the game, guaranteed, which they missed the shot. Portland misses the shot there. Ingram with the floater. And that's off. Now they are in a position to end the game right here, right now. It's not a great spot for Sacramento to be in. Not what you would want. Let's see what happens here. Let's see who they turn to. Tumani out to Shaden Sharp, who's going to run out the clock. Put some dribble moves on. Goes to the rim. Shot is in. And Portland wins it. Oh. Portland wins it. And, I mean, what a stinker. Absolute buzzer beater. No defense, no contest. And Portland moves on to the next. Actually, they win a playoff spot. We have to play another game. And that's unbelievable. I mean, what are you going to do there? Just no defense down low. Couldn't stop a bucket. And now you pay the repercussions by having to play another game. Looking at the box score here, Scoot went absolutely insane for Portland. Brandon Ingram had a pretty good night. Keon Johnson had a killer night. He had 32 points in the game, so that makes sense why he was out there then. Suggs did not shoot particularly well. He went 1 for 11 from 3. And there's no Darius Acuff in this game. I don't know why he didn't play. But that probably is why we lost right there. So apparently, Keon Johnson was getting starting minutes over Darius Acuff, which is absolutely disgusting and is now fixed. Maxime Raymond is also not starting, which makes no sense. I don't know what Doug Christie is doing right now, but apparently he's trying to fold the entire series, so that's awesome. But we're going to see who is playing our... we're playing Houston, apparently, and we demolished them. So we're in the actual playoffs now. I meant to just, get to that game, but sure. We're playing the one-seeded Dallas Mavericks here, which, interesting. Oh, wow. Okay, so it's Kyrie, Ben Mathurin, Cooper Flagg, Santi Aldama, and Jalen Duren. That's why. They got all the restricted free agents to sign with them. So that's why they're the 1 seed. It's actually a pretty disgusting team. We're going to try and see if we can do something here, although I really doubt it. We win 1. We're down 3-1. Ingram, torn right elbow ligament. That's probably going to end our season right there. All right, Sacramento's out of the playoffs. Not really much you can do about that. Portland ends up upsetting San Antonio this time. And we have Boston, New York, OKC, Minnesota. Philly didn't even make the playoffs in this sim. Interesting. Chet. We have Celtics, Paul George going for his first ring versus a very established OKC team. Let's see what happens. Thunder win it in 6. Not a surprise. Chet averaged 36 in that series. That's actually bonkers, man. All right, well, going into the offseason here. Sure. Player retirements, LeBron, Conley, Horford, Paul, Kevin Durant, Westbrook. DeMar ended on the Blazers of all team. No LeBron. Sure, man. This is the draft lottery here. Looking at it, we don't have a pick in here because we made the playoffs. So if we had lost that play-in, we would have had the 12th pick, which would have been cool. But now we have the 17th. So I'm going to try and see if I can pull off some kind of magic here. We'll see what I can do. All right, so I just traded up for the 10th pick. I figure we still need a guy to really, call our own on this team. So we're going to kind of see what we got here in terms of top guys. Kiki Vandeweghe for Cam Williams. Oliver Rouleau. Rashad Lewis, not bad. Taj Ariza. What about Jordan Smith? Dale Ellis? Kiki Vandeweghe? Defense. He can't score. I think we're going to take Cam Williams with the 10th pick. And we're just going to kind of let that rock. All right, so looking at our options for the season, everybody accepted their options, which is cool. Dylan Cardwell's a restricted free agent. We're going to get Dylan Cardwell back. Paul Reed, you know what? We can bring back B-Ball Paul on a calm deal here. And where is Cardwell? Am I crazy? Do I not know what position he plays? Alright, so real quick, I'm just going to kind of find a place to dump these guys. Houston wants to give me a pick? Sure. Real quick, I need to find Dylan Cardwell. I have no idea what position he plays, apparently. He does play center, I thought so. Alright, we're going to go get Dylan Cardwell back. Unless he's asking for more money than we can give him. No, he's right here. Cool. Dylan Cardwell, welcome back. And there's a lot of good players out there on the market. I want to see if I can get somebody to come in and be good. MPJ would definitely be interesting. Jaime Jaquez, Derek Lively. I mean, D. Mitch is out there, but we don't have enough money for that. We're going to try and see if we can get MPJ. Oh, he signed. Where'd he go? To the Nets. RJ Barrett's out there. We'll try our luck at RJ Barrett. We'll front load his deal. Alright, so we brought in RJ Barrett. That's fine. I expect a cuff to overtake Suggs at the start of next season. And we're just going to kind of let it rock. We're going to release Steven Adams. We don't need him. And I'm just going to sign a backup power forward real quick. Let's do Mogbo. Why not? They matched him. Alright, then, you know what? We're going to have the Murray brothers. Alright, so we're going to sim the player progression, and we're going to see how this goes for our team. Hopefully, a cuff or anybody gets better. So, alright, so looking at our player progression, Ingram goes down 1, Suggs goes up 2, and a cuff goes up 7, which is great. This team's starting to really shape up into good form here. And I'm excited to see how this team plays. Real quick, I want to see if I can maybe give Ingram an extension. That would be really nice. He'll re-up. You know what? That's not a bad deal at all. If he'll take 30 mil straight up, done. Maxine Raymond doesn't want to come back. That's an issue. But we'll figure that out later. So we're going to sim the next season, and we're going to see how it goes. Okay, so looking at our lineup to start the year, we're looking at Jalen Suggs, RJ Barrett. I'm going to give him the 6-man role. I really want a cuff to be our lead guy. Ingram, Murray, Maxine, RJ, Nick Clifford, Paul Reed, Dylan Cardwell, Myron Gardner. Our team is pretty good. I can't lie to you. I think we'll maybe be in a similar spot, but I think next year I'm really going to try and kick it in a high gear. Or maybe even this year, and try and make a big splash at the deadline with some of the stuff we've acquired. So let's sim. We'll see how it turns out. And, you know, if there's a cool cup game, maybe I'll jump in, but we'll see. All right, so coming to the deadline, we're 27 and 23. We're gonna buy, which sounds kind of crazy, but at certain stretches of this season, we were like 15 and 7 at one point, and at one point we were 24 and 13. Just a prolonged series of losses kind of tanked our record a little, but I think this team can really do it. I've seen the flashes, and so I'm going to try and see if I can make a big splash here at the deadline, and I think it has to involve Keegan Murray for salary reasons. He's also just not performing as well as last year, but I think we're going to try and get a deal done to hopefully bump around some of this money that we have and get a top-of-the-line player. So let's see what we can do here. Okay, so I just made a deal here with the Chicago Bulls, and I just picked up Jalen Duren. I think this makes a lot of sense for us. He's averaging 15 rebounds a game. He's blocking hella shots. He's pretty damn efficient, and he's scoring a lot of points. I feel like he makes sense for us for the sole reason of that we can get him the shots that he wants, and it won't be an issue for us. Especially with the Cuff being able to play make as well as he can. And it only costs us RJ Barrett and Keegan Murray, which isn't horrible. But there's definitely still some improvements I'd like to do. So I'm going to try and see what I can do. So looking at it, the Rockets are really bad. I'm actually just going to keep this Rockets pick, and we're just going to keep the season pushing. And I also picked up Leonard Miller as well. As just forward depth, which is pretty good. We're just going to keep the season moving, man. If this Rocket pick, which is unprotected by the way, conveys really high in the draft, we might be able to get perfectly set up for a great season 3 and maybe even a championship run. So yeah, we're just going to let this play out. So again, our lone all-star this year is Brandon Ingram. He's having a really solid season, pretty much the exact same as the year prior, just slightly more efficient overall. It's still a really good year for him. I'm very impressed. Wow, we're simming. What happened with this Grizzlies game? 193-174 was the final. Look at this box score, dude. Oh my god. Suggs went 17 for 18. And Cam Boozer had 40. Dude, oh my god, what a game. Just wanted to show that because that's an insane scoring game. Alright, so we ended up going on a bit of a skid down the end of the season. We still ended up making a playoff spot though. Looking at it, this is our MVP for the season. It's Jason Tatum, who this stat line is insane. I'm surprised he didn't win it the year prior either, but good lord. Cameron Williams, Rookie of the Year. Josh Giddey, 6-man. Wembanyama, Deep Boy. Most Improved First Year, Fleming. Clutch Player, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. Mitch Johnson, Coach of the Year, Aaron Phillips. Executive. All-NBA first. Second. And third team. All-Defensive first. And second team. All-Rookie first. And second team. And this is where we ended up. We ended up as the 6th seed, which isn't ideal. But I think we can pull off an upset here. 2-1, 2-2. 3-2, pivotal game 6 here. We're going to jump in. So, locking into this game here. We're down 4 currently. A very winnable game. Booker driving in. Gets the floater to go. And the Cuff is driving it up now. I feel like we can win it. Oh my god. Darius Cuff with the insane layup. That is some crazy moves right there. We got our 6th man of the year right here. Oso Ighodaro drives in and gets it. it's a winnable game here. Phoenix isn't really all that great. Layup by Cuff. He's going insane right now. And I don't mean that as any disrespect to the Suns. It's just I feel like the roster overall, evenly constructed, is better in Sacramento here than it is for Phoenix. But maybe that's just me. You really need a three-pointer here if you want to win this game. Fade away. That's not going to go. Booker is just unstoppable, though. And it looks like he's going to put this game and the series out of reach for Sacramento. Although Cuff is doing everything he can to try and save this game. Step back by Booker. That's off. It's going to go to a Cuff. Pass to Paul, to Duran, to Leonard Miller, who takes the three, and it's off. And for all intents and purposes, that's going to be the game. Green somehow doesn't decide to shoot that. And that's going to be it. We're going to sim out. Sacramento goes out in the first round in 6 games. Unfortunate. We're just going to hope that this Houston pick ends up conveying high. Because if they do, then that's going to be really good for us. Maybe we can get a good player. Maybe we can get a good asset. But, I mean, that's about as unfortunate as you could get as the Knicks go back from down 3-1 to beat the Spurs again. Good news is, though, is that was a pretty solid season. I hate these new things that they do. A whole bunch of Hall of Fame retirements here. Draft lottery time. Suns also have a shot at the top pick, but so do we. We're going to watch this lottery. Blazers get the 14th. Thirteenth goes to the Pacers still. 12th stays to the Warriors. 11th is the Nuggets. 10th is Detroit. No surprises so far, which is kind of interesting. Philly jumps all the way to the top 4 with the Jazz. We definitely just moved out of the top 3. Hornets. Let's find out. Wizards, we're top 5. And we're the 5th. Oh, man. Absolutely diabolical. All right, well, we had the 5th pick in the draft. All right, so heading into the draft here. Randy Carter. Conrad Tiggs. Dyson Daniels for the 3rd pick. Interesting. Ricky Jenkins. Byron Starks. And then our pick. We're going to take Steven Stevens. We need a power forward, so let's do it. All right. So heading into team player options, we're just going to pick up all our options here. Qualifying, we're going to extend it to Myron. That's kind of it, though. We don't even have bird rights for him, so I'm really just not going to sweat it that much. But we're just going to try and add around the edges here. I feel like there's a lot that we can do to try and beef up this team even more. I'd really like to sign a shooting guard if I can. A good one at that. Max Christie would be pretty solid. And, I mean, hey, Cam Carr's out here too. Why not? We're going to see if it lets me keep them all. And it does. Wow. Okay. Maybe. No, we can't get Cam Carr. Okay. Well, we should have... We have Max Christie, and we kept Myron Gardner as well. So that's good. Hopefully Cam Williams develops, but if not, we have Steven Stevens to, try and... We have Steven Stevens to try and play well. We're also going to re-sign Malik Monk. Why not, right? Get a 3-point shooter. No harm in that. So looking at player progression here, there's Cuff, far and away the best player on this team. I'm really hoping he takes a really big jump this season. This is kind of what the rest of the team looks like. It's pretty good. Hopefully we can win it all this year. All right, so we're going to kind of sim. But looking at our rotation, we have a Cuff, Max Christie, Brandon Ingram, Leonard Miller, Jalen Duran and Suggs, Maxine Raymond, Nick Clifford, Malik Monk, Paul Reed. We're going to give Steven Stevens some minutes over Paul Reed. We're going to let him play a little. And yeah, we're going to let it sim. All right, so at the deadline here, we are 36-14. But somehow we're only the 4th seed, which should tell you how stacked this West is. I really don't know any other ways that I can improve this team. I kind of just want to let it rock because we've been banged up to hell and back, and we're still playing really well. So I might just kind of let this team rock. Maybe I'll try and see if I can get a better power forward. But Steven Stevens has not been playing as well as I wanted him to. We're going to try and see if I can trade for a better power forward than Leonard Miller. But if I can't get one, I'm not going to lose any sleep over it. So let's see what I can do. All right, so I couldn't really find anything, so we're just going to keep it moving. Going into the All-Star game this year, though, we have one All-Star, and this time it's Darius Cuff. He's putting up insane stats this season, so he definitely deserves to be the All-Star representing Sacramento. But I feel really good about this team in the season so far, so hopefully we can keep it moving. All right, so our end-of-season awards, we have Luka Doncic putting up a 40.7 rebounds, 10 assists season on 50% shooting and 45% from 3. That is insane. Rookie of the Year goes to Conrad Tiggs. Gigi Jackson, 6th Man of the Year. Depoys Wembanyama. Bennett Sturts is the MIP for the Magic. Interesting. Coach of the Year. Executive of the Year. This is the All-NBA first. Second. Third team, we have Darius Cuff. That's a good surprise right there. Defensive first and second. And all-rookie first and second team. And so we ended up being the 3rd seed, but that's the 1st seed in almost every other year. So I really can't complain with that. We played really, really well this season, and I'm really hoping we can make a push here to try and make the finals. But knowing this is probably our last season of the sim, hopefully we can get it done. So going into the Lakers series, up 2-0, 3-0, 3-1, 3-2, 1-6. That's what we like to see. Playing the Mavs now. Down 1-0. Tied up 1-1. Up 2-1. Up 3-1. 3-2. Game 7. Ooh, am I scared. I did not mean to sim the rest of that, but Sacramento ended up winning by 14, so we make it to the conference finals to play San Antonio Spurs here. We're going to put in our best guys here. And we're going to try and win this. Game 1 goes to San Antonio. Game 2, Game 3, and we get swept in the conference finals. It's unfortunate. You know what? We're going for a 4th season. Let's do it. Draft lottery. We actually have the 8th pick via Portland, so we're going to take advantage of that. We're going to kind of try and fast track this season, because I wasn't expecting to do a 4th one. But we can definitely make this work. None of these guys seem particularly good, so we'll just take the tall center. Let that rock. Neek Clifford. Resign Neek. And you know what? For some off-the-bench shooting, we're going to sign Desmond Bane. Perfect. And you know what? IQ is here too. Actually, Brandon Williams on a 2-year. Alright, we're just trying to make the most broken team possible right now. So going into next season, Cuff goes up 3, Bane goes down 3. Rest of the team kind of stays the same. Steven goes up 3. Hopefully he'll be more impactful this year. But we're going to try and just run up year 4, man. This will be the final season of the sim. So hopefully we win it all. So at the trade deadline here, somehow our record is just completely tanked. We're not even close to anybody else in the West. I really can't explain why. It just seems like our offense isn't great and our defense isn't great. And so we're kind of just treading water. I need to make some improvements to this team if we're going to be able to win it all. And I feel like moving off BI makes the most sense. So we're going to try and move off Ingram and try and use some of these picks to hopefully pick someone up that's worth a damn. And we'll see what happens. Alright, so I made a deal. We just picked up Tyrese Maxey. He was in Boston for some reason. But we picked him up. I feel like that is the right move, I hope. Because it makes this team insanely deep. And, I mean, I don't know how you're going to stop a Maxey and a Cuff-led team. So we're just going to kind of see how this plays out. I needed to do something. I figured Maxey made the most sense. So, let's see. Looking at the All-Stars this year, we have Darius at Cuff. And just had to check and see if Maxey made it on the East, but he did not. So our only All-Star this year is Darius at Cuff. Alright, so these are our end of the season awards here. We have Victor Wembanyama, Eric Dampier, don't ask, Kasparis Chakonis, Wembanyama Depoy, Brandon McCoy, clutch players AJ Williams, interesting, Mark Dagnall, Nathan Mack, All-NBA first team, second, and third, and defensive team. And these are the rookie teams. So, looking at where we finished, we ended up being the 6th seed. We're going to play Phoenix again. I really hope we can pull it off this time. Because, I mean, if it's not going to be this year, then obviously there's no other year after this. So, hopefully for our sake, Sacramento ends up making it. We're going to sim the series. Up 1-0. Up 2-0. 2-1. 3-1. And we win. So we're going to play San Antonio in the next round, who eliminated us last year in the conference finals. We're up 1-0. Tied 1-1. Up 2-1. Up 3-1. And we beat San Antonio to make it to the conference finals again. But this time, I saw this team earlier. We're playing LaMelo and Jason Tatum. That team's insane. I don't know how we're going to do this, but we're going to try our hardest. Let's just see what we can do. Game 1 goes to Minnesota. Game 2, 2-1. Down 3-1. Broken hand for Maxey. And that's going to seal the season. Man. That is about as unfortunate as you can get. How close was that last game? It was actually kind of close. That sucks. Well, Timberwolves end up winning it all. That's kind of just the team of destiny right there. But with that being said, I'm sorry, Sacramento, that I couldn't get it done. I tried my hardest. I figured this was probably about as good of a team as I could possibly make to try and win it all, and I just didn't get it done. But if you enjoyed the video today, and you want me to maybe revisit Sacramento at another point in time, I would definitely be willing to do that. But with that being said, I hope you all enjoyed. If you're still watching, thank you very much. Have a good day, and like and subscribe. Thank you.